Providing a safe space for victims of domestic violence is one of the several callings of the Salvation Army of Roanoke, and it's a community effort to keep those safe spaces up and running. Here with me today to talk about the Salvation Army's Turning Point Shelter Charity Golf Tournament is Major Matthew Trantham. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, to start off, I want to tell people about what the Turning Point Shelter is and the mission of it.
So the Turning Point Shelter is a safe space for victims of domestic violence. We have about 45 beds, and through a hotline that people can call who don't have a place to stay, we're able to house them, do some casework with them, and try to get them to a safe place beyond their circumstances of how they came in. Sometimes we have to meet a challenge with a barrier, whether it's education, housing, there's issues with children that we have to find with education. But transportation is also another one, and so we're able to successfully transition someone from coming from a domestic violence situation to then becoming self-sustainable by the time they finished working with our caseworkers.
Such important work. Why is this such a mission close to the Salvation Army's heart and your own?
Well, the mission of the Salvation Army is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human need in His name without discrimination. So it's close to my heart because, you know, from time to time over the years, I've worked with people and have had to come alongside people who have been victims of domestic violence. It's really heartbreaking and tragic to know that roughly 40% of women, you know, are victims of domestic violence, 26% of men, but also knowing that the majority of cases are not reported. And this is October, so it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so the Turning Point Shelter helps meet a crucial need in our Roanoke Valley community. And so we promote it, we talk about it, and we try to raise money for it. And
that awareness factor is so important. Just talking about this with us today, talking about the Salvation Army's mission, it's so important to make people aware, because a lot of times people think, well, it can't be my friends, it can't be my family, but these are all real people that have friends and family that are going through these very difficult life experiences and need places like Turning Point. So let's talk about the golf tournament coming up. That's one of the main fundraisers for it.
So Monday, October 21st, which is 2 weeks from now, we're going to have a golf tournament. It's going to be out at Hanging Rock Golf Club, and it'll be 1 p.m. with a shotgun start. So we encourage folks to come out. Lunch will be provided by Chick-fil-A. We have a lot of major sponsors, but we need more. If you go to turningpointgolf.com, you can see more information about sponsorship levels. You can put a team in for $400, but we have sponsorship levels from $2,500 to less. If you just want to come out and individually golf, it's $95. That really helps us to afford all the expenses related to the event, but also to have a good day of golf. So if you're a golfer, or if you don't golf and you just want to donate, that's another way to give as well.
Yeah, I mean, what a great time of year. You don't have to worry about that heat and humidity.
October's wonderful.
It's going to be a perfect time for it. Tell us why the fundraiser is so important to Turning Point as a shelter. What types of things does this help provide for the shelter?
So a lot of people see the Salvation Army and they know that we have Christmas bell ringing that comes up. They know we have Angel Tree. They know we have thrift stores. But we have a domestic violence shelter here in the Roanoke Valley. And so it's very important every year to think beyond Christmas. Because all year long we're helping folks that are victims. And it's an amazing way to give back, to help others when you don't necessarily know what the face of domestic violence looks like. We know that teenagers are victims of this too. Roughly half of those that experience domestic violence who are teenagers will attempt suicide at some point. And so it's incredibly needed to raise money. The money we're going to use from this donation and from the event is going to go directly toward operating the shelter, facilitating the expenses, providing meals, ensuring that we're able to transport folks that are there to doctor's appointments, to counseling services, and those types of things. So wraparound services for these families are what we try to offer and try to use to help, and it happens all year long.
Because there's that immediate assistance that's so necessary, but then, like you said, the mental health aspect and just, you know, the after effects of all of these terrible things that are happening to these people, it takes a lot of time to pour into them and to really help assist them through life and get them back on their feet.
The case management allows us to restore a person's hope. To build them up and to help them to have a better future, and hopefully to help their families and their children not become victims as well, because it's not normal. And the fact that it's so prevalent, people have almost gotten used to it. And the fact that not as much is reported is also heartbreaking.
Right.
So finally, when it does come to the surface, it's a good thing that there's agencies like the Salvation Army providing services to help.
Well, we have all that information on our website as well. Major, thank you so much for being here and for sharing your mission and all the details of this golf tournament.
Thank you so much.
It's been so nice chatting with you.